tall. We'll start in our seated mountain pose. And again, if you want to start with a little sip of water, that does hydrate our whole bodies, our spine, our connective tissue. Finding a comfortable seat. Let's start by grounding through the feet. And let's make sure you can see feet are parallel to each other and that you can feel your feet connected into the earth. We'll place our palms on our laps, sit up so tall. And when we have our feet connected into the earth, we just feel the earth's energy. Roll the shoulders up, back, and around. Let's close our eyes. That helps us take an inward focus, finding our breath for a moment or two, breathing in gently through the nose, and maybe feeling the nostrils flare a bit, and then exhale that back out. You can exhale out of the nose or the mouth, whichever feels more relieving to you. So the nice thing about this lengthening of our breath, the softening breath, is when we get excitable or nervous or anxious, perfect time, we can just come to the breath and start to slow it down, because a slower breath is a slower mind. A balanced breath is a balanced mind. So all we have to do is tune into the slow breath. It's probably one of the most ancient and powerful ways that yogis have been using to overcome stress and anxiety, excitability. So it's nature's way to help us calm ourselves just by breathing slower. And we're going to work with that breath. So as you exhale next, tuck our chin to the chest and hold here for a long stretch. Sit up tall, lift your chest up to your chin as you lower your chin down to your chest. And while we're here, we're going to lower the right shoulder down toward the hip and then the left shoulder. So we've got our chin tucked, but we're going to take the shoulder away from the ear, bring it back to neutral, and then just keep taking that side to side. Good. Notice if one side's particularly tight this morning. And then if it feels okay, when you take the right shoulder down, take the left ear. So we're going to go lowering. You may not be able to tell because my shoulder doesn't low too much, but I'm lowering one shoulder and then the opposite ear travels to the other shoulder. So in other words, I'm lowering the right shoulder and then left ear lowers. Lower the left shoulder and then the right ear. So keep lowering your shoulder toward your hip, but tick-tock your head side to side. Yes. And so as you do a few more, this is like pulling taffy. Can you think of those tight muscles? They're so rich and stiff. And just think about them when we move them, they get more pliable, just like taffy would. If you had it in the freezer for a while and then you put it out in the sun, muscles beginning to loosen. One more to each side. Good. Don't strain, just give a nice stretch. And then let's just roll the chin across the collarbone area. Take one ear over the shoulder and then the other. There's some crunching going on in my shoulders and my neck. You might hear that too, and it's okay. We just want to smooth through that with the breath. And now the next time we've got our right ear over the shoulder, we're going to pause there. Ear right over the shoulder, and then the left arm is going to extend out. Fingers spread wide, but the palm faces the floor. Now we're going to open and close a fist. Spread those fingers really wide, and then a nice tight grip in. This helps with arthritis in our hands, getting circulation all the way into the fingertips. Long line of energy from the shoulder down to the fingertips. You got it. And now we're going to take little circles forward. Good, palm facing down. We still have the ear of the shoulder. Kind of lift your chest up a little bit, roll your shoulders back and down, and that little circle forward. Great job. And then we're going to pause that and turn the palm up and open and close a fist. So it's a different muscle group. It's an external rotation. You might feel that a little bit differently in the shoulder. Maybe it's starting to free up for you a little bit. Good. And then reverse the direction of your circles. Well done. And if the circle doesn't feel good, you'll just come into that pain-free range of motion. Maybe make it smaller. Test the water small first. And if you can, take it larger. And if not, no worries. Just go where you feel best. And then we're going to place the left hand back on the thigh, roll the head through center, and take the left ear over the right arm out. Palm faces down, the fingers are wide, and we're going to open and close a fist. Letting the head hang, breathe, notice sensation. Do you notice one side's tighter than the other? It's pretty common to have that. And then a nice circle forward. It doesn't have to be large, 2 to 3 inches. We're releasing synovial fluid. We're working in the range of motion. Should be nice and gentle, nothing super big. And then we're going to take the palm up and open and close a fist here as well. Still let this head hang, nothing forced. And then we'll take our circles backwards a couple times with the palm up, fingers spread wide. Notice how we're moving here. Getting a little juicier in the joint. It's good to roll it backwards like this. It just counterposes all that rounding forward that we do. Good. Now we'll take the hand back to the knee and roll the head through center. And this time take both hands, interlace them behind your head. And then inhale, lift the chin up slightly toward the ceiling and let those elbows expand wide. And then exhale, tuck your chin, and then can your elbows lower? They don't have to touch. We want to be gentle with this. As we inhale and arch through the upper back and exhale, round it. Elbows a little closer, but we don't want to force or pull or tug on our head. Yes, less is more here. When you feel stretch, you're doing it. Just stay in that really lovely spinal alignment, getting length in the back of the neck. And notice as you tuck it down, does that feel good all the way down towards your shoulder blades there? Good. And then one more. Let's just pause here, let it hang for a moment. Again, nothing forced. And then we're going to come on up and take that life force reach and then bend at the elbows so we can take our bellows breath. Exhale, the palms and the elbows touch. Now inhale, let's come up into an arch. We're coming into that cow and then exhale into calf. Good. So we're going to lift up and then exhale, curl the tail forward. Inhale, curl the tail back. Keep flowing there. Nice. We're going to bow forward. Inhale, rock it back. Good. So we want to take the sit bones forward and back as we look up and arch and around. Look at the belly button. This is so great to open up our posture muscles. Pecs in the front, rhomboids in the back. How's one shoulder flowing versus the other? You have any tightness on one side? Good. Now we're going to take the arms back to our cactus and then into the airplane wings. Beautiful. And then we're going to lift the palms up toward the ceiling, come all the way up and overhead, reach so tall. And then let's just exhale our hands right back to our heart. Good. Full breath in. Exhale, hands out in front of us. We're going to cross the left hand on top of the right. So the backs of the hands together. Now flip so the palms touch and you can interlace your hands. And we'll take the knuckles down toward the lap and then back up. Ooh, that's an interesting angle for the wrist to take. Forearms working, come back out. Let's unwrap ourselves so the palms touch again. Now the right hand, the back of the hand is going to come on top. And then we're going to interlace our hands. Take them down toward our lap, opposite hands on top. Good. How's that feeling in the wrist and the forearms? Good. Now we're going to release that. We'll have our palms together. Good, like this. Now backs of the hands together. And then make a little fist and pump back toward your forearm. So the wrists are still touching. These are forearm extenders. You sew or crochet. You're doing crafts. Busy in your garden. This is a really nice one if you've been working at the computer more. Just frees up all those little muscles that we overuse. Good. Now just go ahead and shake that out. Let's get the arms flowing, the legs stomping. Now we're going to come into our full eagle's pose. It's really nice to help open up the shoulders. It also gets into the immune system right here in our lymph glands. So we're going to take the right arm, crisscross it over the left, squeeze, open that back out. Let's cross the left arm over, squeeze. Good. Now this time, go ahead and take the right arm over, and your option is to hug here, just like this, and cross your left leg over, or you can take the backs of the hands together, sort of like this, or go ahead and wrap them all the way in. Good. So you want to sit up tall without a cat-cow. Let's take the elbows straight up and straight back down. So we're not going to round and arch the back. We're just going to keep it nice and straight. The idea here is to lift and lower the elbows, and that means the shoulder blades, the scapula are lifting and lowering. That means the muscles of the shoulder blade are working. The shoulder blade itself is getting lubricated. It's not adhered to your ribs. It's meant to move. And if you're doing this with ease, that means you've got nice looseness there. If it's challenging, this is a stretch you want to take a little more often. Now let's get in there and really stretch it. Start to round it forward, tuck your chin to your chest, and spread wide across your shoulder blades. The more you can tuck your chin and squeeze your armpit, squeeze your groin, you're going to tap into that lymphatic system. That's the armpit and the groin area. That's where the lymph nodes live. Super healthy for our immune system. One more breath in, expand across your shoulder blades into the backside of the ribs. Big breath, and then hold it, and then exhale it out. And then unwrap your arms and your legs, and let's fly our eagle's wings. Move through the elbows, the wrists, and the shoulders. Stomp your feet, get that circulation going. Nice. Now we're going to take it the other way. So crisscross. Let's take the left arm on top, and then the right arm. And then we'll pause with the left arm again, and then either find your wrap, good, or back to the hands together, or that full wrap. When we have the left arm on top, that means the right leg crosses. And again, we're going to take our fingers away and lift them up and lower them. Notice when you have the opposite arm on top, does this feel any differently back there for you? Maybe one set of rhomboids feels a little tighter than the other. Just notice. And then how are the shoulder blades gliding? This is our shoulder mobility. Good. Lift up with the shoulders and elbows and lower. And then we're going to come in for that roundedness. So go ahead and tuck the chin, elbows lower. Take a breath in and out. Be sure you're squeezing your armpits. You're squeezing the groin. Nice big breath into the shoulder blade area. Hold it, hold it, hold it. And then exhale it out. Come on out. And again, fly your eagle's wings. Let them fly. Yeah, let everything flow there. Good job. All right, shoulder roll up, back, and around. We're going to move this down into the legs a little bit. So what I'd like for you to do is take your right foot out. Good, and just start to point and flex. So when you point, you don't have to overly curl your toes, but I do want you to pull the toes when you flex. So pointing and flexing through the feet. Notice how the quadriceps working, the tummy's working as we sit tall. Good. And then let's circle out the ankle. Circle it in toward the midline a few times. And are you making a circle, or is it more like an egg shape? Let's see if we can circle that out. Go the opposite way, as full of a circle as you possibly can get in there. And then we'll take it to the left foot. So pointing and flexing. This is so great for circulation, by the way. The weather's warming up. We're getting kind of humid. So if at the end of the day you find you've got some swelling in your feet, or maybe you've been going out more nature walking, and you find there's some swelling, some fluid in your feet, this is what we want to do when we come back. Get that flushed out. We don't want to go ahead and circle. We don't want that to pool in there too long. This is a perfect way to get everything flushed back out again. Good, go the other way. Nice. Now, we're going to go ahead and take both feet out. Go ahead and paddle out like you're in a little paddle boat. So we get both of them working. Then I want you to take the legs out a little bit wider and place your hands at your hip crease. This one, we want to feel the femur head. So you have a thigh bone, your femur, and then there's a ball and socket joint of your hip. It's rotating around in there as we take pigeon penguin toe. The hips are moving, they're getting lubricated. Good, so just like we were moving the shoulder blade, now we're moving the bone in its hip socket. These are synovial joints, and they got fluid in there. We're just flushing in there, cleansing the cartilage and just making more range of motion. Strengthening too, you'll feel that through those muscles. Nice. Now go ahead and come up to the top of the chair so we can stretch all that out. Let's come side to side so the knee goes down toward the floor, and your comfortable range of motion. Swing that side to side. Oh, good. Windshield wiper. Now we're going to come to the place where we have just our right thigh on the chair. The left leg, it looks like this, but we have our toe on the floor, the knees pointing down. My right hand's holding on, and I've got my left hand on my shoulder. Now this is shoulder emphasis class today. So we're going to take this around like a little bitty chicken wing. So that means the hands on the shoulder. We're going to inhale up and exhale back and around. Only backwards. We round forward so much during our day. I love this one. It's really important to keep the shoulder in alignment and keep it well nourished. Now, if you can explore, what happens if you take your hand off the shoulder, but you've still got your elbow bent? So this is medium cycle here. Circle in that pain-free range of motion. And then if you don't have shoulder issues, we can come larger where the arms may be straight or almost straight. But if it doesn't feel good, we can bend the elbow or place the hand right back on the shoulder. Feel into the stretch in your hips. So go ahead and take this left hip and press it forward. Feel the stretch, everything's connected. Nice. Now let's take this to the other side. So we're going to come around with just the left thigh on the chair and the right knee down. We'll begin the gentle cycle with your hand on the shoulder. I want you to explore this. Be mindful. What does that feel like when your hand's on the shoulder? Do you feel any popping in there? Hopefully not. If you do, you might want to just stay here. If there's any kind of burning sensation, if you can, it feels okay. You've got that green light. We can always take it around a little bit larger, bending the elbow. Keep the heart lifted. And then if you like, you can take it even wider, a straight arm or almost straight arm. And how is that feeling in there? Good. Let's take about 4 more times. 3, 2, and 1. Perfect job. Let's come all the way back in through center. Seated cat-cow. So we're going to take our hands on our knees, legs a little wider, so we can slide our hands to the hips, lift up through the heart, squeeze shoulders and elbows, and then round, curl the tail, curl the chin. Inhale, squeeze and lift. Exhale and round. Good. Arching in and out of cat-cow gives us the mobility that we need, the fluidity in our spine. Good. Let's take this a few more times. Every time we lift, we strengthen. Every time we round, we stretch. Good. Last one here. And ending in cat, just round it, stretch. Now let's come on up and take this into more of the side in the back. So we've got a lot of really strong muscles there. When we sit a lot, they get so tight and restrict our range of motion. So we want to stretch this area every day, and this is a good one. We'll take both hands with legs open, both hands to your right thigh up at your hip crease. Start to take a little walk, but as you do, root that, not only that sit bone, but that foot. So the whole left side rooted, taking a little walk, peeking over our knee, but notice how the sit bone wants to pop up, hand it down. Good. Now lean a little bit more forward and then down a little bit. Now we're going to get the arm involved. So the left arm at a diagonal, open and close a fist. Peek over like you want to look at your toes and breathe. It's a long, deep stretch here. Crossing the side of the body. We're into the quadratus lumborum right here between your lower rib and your hip. We want to stretch this way every day. Like you're reaching for something just out of your reach, stretch maybe a little bit more, breathe very deeply. Notice how that feels there. And then we're going to place both hands at the knee, walk ourselves back up, and then pivot to the other side. Take a little walk down the left thigh. Remember to plant the right sit bone and peek at your toes. Good. And then stretch at a diagonal. Open and close your fist here. Notice how this side of your back feels. It's very dense and thick, so we want to open this up for circulation to flow, blood flow in there. Nice. Keep breathing, keep reaching. A little bit more. It's just out of your reach. Open and close the fist here. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice. Hand to the thigh, walking ourselves back up. We'll keep one hand on each thigh for now. Sit tall. We're going to clean the table. So lean really forward of your chair, come back through center, and then take it to the other side. So these are like our pelvic circles. We want to engage the core and reach out like we've got a big family style table. You want to get all along the edge of it. Good, so all the way forward and then back to center. This is such a great one for your back and your shoulders here. Strengthens those muscles. We get the hips moving as well. Good, just feels so good, this one. This cycle is nourishing and cleansing, again, hips and shoulders. One more to each side. How wide can you reach? How far in front of you? Nice. Now let's heel toe this in and stretch it out a little bit. So we're going to lift our knee toward our nose. We'll keep our spines tall at first. Bring the core in. And then let's round. So can you take the knee a little bit closer? If you can't get your knee anywhere near your nose, we're not going to worry about that. We just want to tuck our chin so we get the back of the neck stretched. Yeah, one more time to each side. This is a good one every day. Nice. Now we're going to row. This is core work into the back. So I want you to imagine you've got an oar like you're in a canoe. And we're going to row side to side. Good, side to side. So it's a bit of a figure eight movement, isn't it, with those hands? Now, can you keep your elbow pretty close to the rib cage and rotate your chest and torso to the right and to the left? Now, you can stay with this if this is challenging enough, or as you take that oar to the side, extend through the opposite leg. The core's job is to lift the arms and the legs, so it's working really hard here. Ooh, lower abs are working. Lower pelvic floor too. Now, if you want, you can take, you got to scoot back though, both legs. That's a hard one, I know. See if you can do, they don't have to come up very far. See, can you get both legs going? 3 more times, 2, and 1. Oh, that's challenging. Great job there. Windshield wiper that out. Oh, got a good little workout there for the abdominals. All right, now we want to take this into the quads. Left leg only to start. So what we're going to do is lift our left leg, extend it out, take the heel to the floor, and then slide it back in. So we're going to lift it. Well, let me use this way. Lift it, extend it, take the heel to the floor, and slide it back in. Left leg. Lift, extend, heel to the floor, come on in. Good. Now, I want you to explore tall spines. How high can we bring that knee without rounding into a C curve? Be careful of the hip and the knee. Good job. The goal here is to strengthen the quadriceps and the hip flexor. These quadriceps start to atrophy first as we age, but yet they're the muscles of independence. So we want to make sure we're keeping them strong. Also, they protect the knee. 2 more. Good, you're doing great. Oh, we're ready for the other side, I know. So let's take that to the other side. We know what we're doing now. We're going to lift the knee, kick it out, heel to the floor, and bring it back in. These are leg extensions. Really, really healthy if you have arthritis around the knee, because these quadricep muscles protect the knee. When the quads are strong, the knee's supported. Good. If you've had a hip replacement and you need to skip this, no worries. But this is very therapeutic for knees that have been replaced. Nice. Let's take 3 more here. Oh, we're going to fatigue. That's where that muscle changes. I know it's challenging. 1 more. Oh, great job. We're going to take our legs out a little bit. I think we need a bit of a side stretch, because to lift the leg, we use those muscles back there. That's their job, is to hike up. So let's take the right forearm to the side with your palm face up. Good. So we want to take the rib right over the thigh, but not dump into our shoulder. So create space. And then we're going to take our left hand to our shoulder cap and then lift the elbow up toward the ceiling. So the idea here is to stretch all along the left side. Now, if you can stay right here, or the fingertips up toward the ceiling. Maybe you want to place your hand on your head or extend all the way up and overhead. Take that top shoulder back and breathe. So you know those little handheld fans. That's kind of like the muscles in your ribs are opening up there. This will allow us a deeper breath. And if you were to get this virus that is really affecting the respiratory system, we want to make sure the respiratory system is as high functioning as possible. This is key to keep at high maintenance right here. So keep leaning, stretching, and breathing. Open up so the diaphragm can do its job. Good. Take another breath. If it doesn't feel good, you can always place your hands to your shoulder. Be sure to breathe, no holding the breath. Good. Now coming all the way up. Notice how one side feels versus the other. When these muscles are tight, the ribs clamp around the diaphragm, and then we take a shallow breath. When they're open like a jellyfish, the diaphragm can do its thing. So now we have our left forearm. Go ahead and take your right hand. Now you can just stay here with your elbow up toward the sky. That might be enough for you. Good. Or fingertips just straight up to the sky. Or maybe your hand rests on your head, or you want to come all the way across. But just don't dump into your shoulder, right? So pull there, make that space, and then lean, stretch. Think about these rib muscles, the intercostals, like little doors opening. Again, that hand span clicking open. This is so great for asthma. Anyone who has a challenge taking a deep breath, good, opens it all up. And then we have connective tissue too that needs to be stretched. Takes a moment to get open in here. So let's take a full breath in and out of the nose, really reach. Option to come here if that shoulder doesn't feel good. Another cycle. Good job. And then come all the way back through center. We're going to heel toe the feet in a little bit and stretch the back in a way that's releasing for the low back especially. So hands are going to come to the thighs. I'm hip hinging forward. Good. And you don't really have to go any lower than here. I just want you to go to where you start to feel sensation along your low back. Now, if that means you come to your head in line with your shoulders, in line with your hips, great. Hands to the shins, that's fine. Or way up here with hands on the knees. This is all about how your back feels when you come forward. So just come to a place where you feel the low back releasing and letting go. Breathe, pause. Nice. And then walk yourself back up. That's a good one to take throughout the day too. Now let's work in the hands for arthritis. We're going to take our right hand out and just start digging. Put right in front of my shirt so you can kind of see me more. Dig like there's a seedling in the ground. And you're just going to scoop it up with your thumb. Now, the goal here is to keep the other fingers straight and spread apart. And they're going to want to dig too, but do the best you can to only dig with the thumb. This index finger really wants to come along too. So quiet him down. This bottom knuckle in your thumb is where arthritis settles first. Might be tender. Now, go ahead and dig with the index finger. Dig, dig. See, it's a circular motion. I'm not just lifting it up and down. I'm curling it. And then the middle finger, curling it. How are we doing keeping all the other hand fingers straight? And then the ring. Oh, that one's so challenging. Pinky and the middle want to come too. And then just that pinky. Oh my goodness. It's challenging. Do the best you can. Now dig with the whole hand. Yes. Feel that in the muscle group behind the tendons and ligaments. This is what helps keep the fingers moving, that dexterity, the pain-free handwriting and gripping. Good. Let's go to the other side with the thumb, just scooping, trying to see what angle's best. Scoop up your little seedlings. I am feeling that on this one. This is my dominant hand. So you can be gentle, you can make it smaller if you need to, but even if there's a little bit of pain in there, this one we do want to keep moving. Good. You can back it off and make it smaller, but yeah, especially that thumb. And let's go into the index finger now. Keep it scooping up its little seedling. Scoop it, scoop it. Good, and then the middle. And you might notice the dominant hand's a little bit easier to keep the other fingers still. Sometimes it shows up in the non-dominant hand. And then the ring. Oh gosh, you can see it's hard for me to keep mine all the way still. And the pinky. The pinky can be challenging because the ring and the pinky kind of map together and they map up to your shoulder. Good, 2 or 3 more. And then the whole hand. Let's get both hands digging up that dirt. You want to do some kind of hand movement like this every day to keep that strength and ward off arthritis. If you already have it, you can minimize it or even eliminate it. Let's stretch now. We've worked them and now we're going to stretch them. So with the palm face up, the left hand will assist. Pull the pinky finger down toward the floor. So it looks like that. Good. And then the ring finger straight down toward the floor. There's a little burning sensation. That's okay. Just stretching that out, the ligaments and the tendons. Now the thumb's a little different. We're going to pull it back toward the forearm itself. So not down toward the floor. Good. And then let's take all 4 fingers and get into carpal tunnel. Good. Take a deep breath in, press through the heel of the hand, and we'll take it to the other side. So the right pinky finger, sorry, the left pinky finger, the ring, middle, and if a knuckle pops, don't worry about it. That's okay. And then the thumb coming back toward the forearm. Good. And then we'll take that into the carpal tunnel as well. Straight out. Fingers toward the floor. Breathe into that. Nice. Now release all that and shake it all out. Let's get the blood flowing in there. Just get the lymph flowing. Now we're ready for our opposite. So we're going to sit about midway in our chair. Let's start with the left arm lifting first. So keeping the shoulder in its socket, arm is going to come overhead. And then we're going to take it back down. Like a soldier, can you take a straight arm and try not to bend your elbow a whole lot? And notice how the shoulder doesn't come up, it just stays right in its socket. Working right and left sides of the body, right and left sides of the brain. This is our patterning. Good, 1 more to each side. And then we're gonna take this to the leg. So let's start with the right leg first, just the right leg, and then the left. And you may need to hold onto your chair or just take the fingers beside you. Engage the core. It's what's lifting your legs along with the quads. Shoulders relax back and down. Let's put the 2 together. Left arm, right leg, right arm, left leg. Ooh, lots of brain work, lots of strength work, coordination. Well done. Keep flowing side to side. Now we're going to release the feet, but take both arms up at the same time. And we're going to release that back down. Sit back in your chair. You're going to take both legs up. Good, and release. Now both arms and both legs. L for love. Good. 4, sit tall, hold that out. 4, 3, 2, and 1, and shake it. Yes. Good work with that. Now we're going to open up through the shoulders, the front of the chest. So we're going to take our hands to our rib cage back here. So up a little bit higher, and that might be challenging if your shoulders are really tight. Just do the best you can with that. Go ahead and squeeze your shoulders together, palms on your back there. And we're just going to open up through the chest and engage those shoulder muscles. This is our posture muscle group. Good. Now we're going to slide the hands lower onto our hip pockets. So we got sassy pants. So we're going to kind of open and close there, flap your wings. So, you know, little girls that put hands on their hips to get all sassy. That's why it's called sassy pants. Good. So squeeze and open. Nice. Pectoralis muscles. Feel those shoulder blades pulling together. Now just pull them together and pause and imagine you have a beach ball back there and you're holding on to it with your elbows. 1 more breath, and we're going to take it to the opposite. We're going to exhale and round, hug a big tree, and then inhale, pull back. Good. Exhale, hug your big tree. Separate through your shoulder blades. Inhale, open. Exhale, coil. So we just want to pull the energy of the tree in, arch through your back, and then exhale and round it. So just like cat-cow, sit bones rolling forward and back. Good. Round it, hug it, pull it in. Nice. 1 more time. Now this time, We're going to keep our elbows glued, but turn the palms up and take your trays out to the side. Good. So we're going to take our hands overhead, turn the fingers in so they're, sorry, right there overhead, and then come back through your imaginary figure eight. Remember, we have cupcakes in our hands. We don't want them to drop on the floor. They circle around a little figure eight. Overhead. Good. Sorry, looking at my computer screen is like looking at a mirror. Nice. Much easier if I just do it without seeing myself. Good. Up and around towards you, and then take that back. Feel those interesting angles of the wrists and the elbows and the shoulders. Nice. This keeps all that fluid flooding in the joints, juice in our joints. Nice. One more time. Now arch. Good. Exhale that around. Take it back. Up and overhead. Take a back arch. Ooh, and back through. Great job. Now, let's just take our trays out to the side and back in. Squeeze the shoulder blades, release. Oh, it's like you have tea and coffee and you're serving it out to either side of you. Feel those back muscles. They get long and weak from rounding forward. We're firming them back up so we don't have kyphosis, forward rounded posture. Okay, now let's go ahead and take those arms all the way out. Flip the palms down, open and close the fist. Circle out the wrist and take it all the way up and overhead. Palms touch, look up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Again, arms up and overhead. Exhale, hands to the heart. One more. Inhaling and exhaling. Nice. Shoulder roll, get in there and release anything tight. Now we're going to take our top of the foot to the floor. So I'm going to stand up so you can see. Your foot is going to be on the floor like this. So you're going to have the top, your toenails will be on the floor, but you're going to be seated. So just take your right foot underneath your thigh, and it's the top of your foot pressing on the floor. When we stretch the top of the foot, we're actually stretching. I know you feel all kinds of sensation on the top of the foot, but you're actually getting the muscles that are on top of the plantar fascia that pull the arch up. That helps us with balance. So we want to get in there and stretch this. Go to the big toe, roll all the way down to the pinky. So you're kind of windshield wipering your weight back and forth. Not necessarily pleasant, I know, but very beneficial. Good, stretching muscles, tendons, and ligaments. Whew, that's a lot. Let's go to the other side. A little bit of weight, you don't have to force that. One side is usually tighter than the other, just like every other part of our body. The big toe, just like the thumb, tends to be a little more tender. Just take that weight on front of the foot and roll it from the big toe to the pinky. Roll that back and forth. So when we roll an ankle, it means we overstretch it. This helps us get into those odd ankles and kind of freeze that up so it's not so tight and rigid so we don't sprain an ankle. Good. All right, come back through and stomp out those feet. What we're going to do next is a little bit of different sun salutations, putting all the things that we've just done together. So we'll sit midway of our chair. Make sure we have mountain feet where the ankles are under our knees and the feet are parallel. And the toe next to your big toe, those two toes are parallel to each other. Sitting tall, we're going to take our arms all the way up and overhead. And let's find cactus. So exhaling, the elbows are going to come in line with the shoulders. And we're going to take a pause here. Take a full breath in. Now exhale and keep plugging your elbows all the way into the rib cage. Good. Now draw your arms out in front of you. Take a deep breath in, lift tall, flip your palms to your lap, and we're going to take that seated forward fold again. This time maybe lowering your head. And then inhale, come on up, pull up tall. There's that back arch. Exhale and fold. Inhale, take your arms overhead. We use our core muscles to lift the arms, and then exhale the hands back to the heart. Let's try that one again. Inhale, arms reaching. We're going to find our cactus arms. Good. And then continue to plug them into the rib cage. Shoulder corrector. Good. Posture corrector. arms out in front. Relax your shoulders. Flip the palms to the lap. Exhale, come sliding forward. Inhale, pull that up. Elbows pull way back. Palms to your hips. And then exhale, forward fold. Good. Inhale. Take those back and core muscles and lift your arms up and overhead. Exhale, hands to the heart. We're going to add on. Arms are going to come all the way up again. We're going to find our cactus. Keep plugging the hands or the elbows into the ribs. Stretch across the collarbones. Now draw those trays out in front of you. Separate the trays, open through the heart. This helps reverse kyphosis. Good. Arms are going to come in. Flip that down. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, pull back and strengthen your whole erector spinaea. Exhale, stretch it. Again, core and back muscles bring us up to the top, palms touch. Exhaling, hands to namaste at the heart space. One more like that. Arms coming overhead. We'll go right through cactus to plug the elbows into the rib cage. Draw the hands out in front. Squeeze shoulders, broaden across the chest. Come on back in, flip the palms. Exhale, slide forward, take your bow. Inhale, lift up and lengthen. Exhale and fold it. Arms are going to come overhead again. And we'll exhale the hands to the heart. We're going to mix it up again. Arms are going to come up and overhead. Find your cactus and glide your elbows as best you can all the way into the ribs. We're going to pull the teacups out in front. This time, open them out to the side. Bring them back in, and then we're going to twist to our left. Inhale through center, and then twist to the right. You got it. Flip the palms. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, pull that all the way back up. Exhale and fold. All the way up with those arms. Look up, reach up, palms touch. Exhaling, hands to the heart. One more that way. Inhale, circle sweep up. Exhale through cactus all the way into the shoulder plug. Draw your teacups in front. Open across the collarbones. Good. Bring that back in. This time, let's twist to the right first. Good. Back through center. And then the left. Beautiful job. Flip the palms to the lap. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, pull on up. Exhale, fold again. And let's take the arms up and overhead. Nice job, everyone. Hands to the heart, hands to the thighs. Let's just check in with our knees. Let's see that they're right over the ankles. We're going to do a few blast offs. That's where we do sits to stands, where we stand and sit. If that's not in your repertoire because of your knees are bothering you today, just squeeze your gluteals and release. Squeeze and release. All right here in your gluteal muscles and your pelvic floor. Maybe a little in your inner thigh. Otherwise, we're going to come to stand. It probably will cut my head off. That's okay. We're just going to stand and sit back. Just do 5 of those. All right. If you want a little extra, we'll swing our arms. If you want extra work, we'll crisscross our arms. This gives us more momentum. This makes it a little more challenging. Make sure the heels are underneath you supporting. And here we go. 5, 4, 3, good job, 2, and 1. Well done. Come all the way back. Take a deep breath in. Exhale. Good. I'm not sure what that chat was. All right. We're going to just pause here. Take a full cycle of breath in and out of the nose. Good job. Let's grab our strap if you have one. If not, you can just interlace around your hamstring. We're going to take the strap around the right ball of the foot. Just extend through your heel. Lift tall. Good job. We'll take the leg out to the side, getting into our inner thigh. Open up across with the opposite arm. Really get into those adductor muscles. Crisscross. Now this group of hamstrings has thick, dense tissue around it. It's okay. It needs to be extra tight because it essentially attaches your upper and lower leg together. We just want to see if we can free it up and get a little blood flow in there, but it's okay if it's really tight. It's meant to be. Good. Now let's do a pigeon where your ankle is on your thigh or down at your other ankle if that feels better. We'll flex your foot, come forward, leaning in, stretching the hip, piriformis. everything over here to the side, releasing maybe even into the hamstring. Good. Now let's come on up and just hold that leg out there for 3, 2, 1, and come to the other side. Take that around the ball of the foot. Press through the heel. Good. You don't want to look at the bottom of my foot. Nice. And your leg can be way down here. It's okay. It's just where you feel stretch. It doesn't matter what it looks like, it's what it feels like. Leg out to the side. We're going to take the arm with us. Breathe and stretch across our chest. These stretches keep us very active. These will allow you to continue to go on your walks and go up and down stairs. Stretching the hamstrings is important for our back health as well. Nice. Let's go ahead and take this into the hips. Good. Leaning forward. Try not to tuck your chin. Breathe in. Use a little longer exhale than inhale, and I'll tell this whole group of muscles it's time to relax. Because it's more about the central nervous system relaxing than how low you come into this, right? It's, you want to slow the breath and the whole body says, okay, now it's time to rest. Good. One more breath. And let's come all the way back and give it that little hold. 3, 2, 1, and release. Good. We're just going to sit tall, thighs with our hands on them. Roll the shoulders. Close your eyes and tap in. How does the body feel now versus before we started class? Do you feel the blood flow, the heart beating? Maybe the body's a little warmer, a little looser. Good. Take a deep breath in. Fill up with energy. Exhale, let go of stress and tension. Thank you so much for coming and joining today. Namaste. I'm going to come unmute you, and we'll see you again next Monday. All right. Hello, everybody.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
All right. Have a great day.
It was great.
Bye.
Thanks.
Miss you guys.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
I don't really know how to sign off.
I'll end the meeting.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye.
Hey,
You're
bye.